every day. And to my horror and surprise, I found out, and I have no issue about admitting it, like me, practically everyone, knowingly or unknowingly, admittedly or unadmittedly, is spending roughly about 10% of the total time in managing social media. If we have 24 hours at our disposal, including the 7 8 hours of the sleep, perhaps most of us are spending 2 to 2.5 hours on the social media directly, indirectly. I realize that every day I receive 1.25 to 1.5 GB worth of videos and various pictures, which I may or may not be interested in viewing them. But at the end of the day, my phone get hanged because of being loaded. So I have to delete it. Many times I thought, I discussed with my other friends also, do I have a choice to opt out of this various options of social media, including Facebook, Insta Live, or WhatsApp, or many others? Can I have a choice? Then I realized that if I want to disconnect from all this, the practical harsh reality is this: this as good as just owning a phone, not having a phone. You're out of this world. You would be disconnected from everyone around. You shall be considered backward. You shall be considered living in last century. So what was meant for making our life better, what was meant for making our life richer or healthier, or to help us living our life in better way, today is controlling our life. If out of my 24 hours, 2.5 hours, I have to spend on managing my social media, this is a sad state of affairs. Whatever intelligence, whatever education, I think I may have it. So, am I slave to the social media? I'm talking in first person before I raise finger to anyone else. Am I raised? Am I slave to the social media? Many of us would hate to admit it, but the harsh reality is that many of us have unknowingly become. Long back when the currency was brought into practice rather than bartering system, that the currency in the form of money or the notes were meant for making life easier. Today, the money has made our life miserable. 30 years back, when the television came, or rather 50 years back, when the television came, this was meant for entertaining us. Today, we are addicted to television. 30 years back, when the cable came, we thought that would keep us entertained. Today, cable has occupied every part of life. Same way it happened with mobile. Same way it happened with internet. So our life had been usurped by various medias. Our life had been occupied by various things what they were supposed to help us. Today we hire one servant or two servants, and they occupy our bedroom, they occupy our hall, and we have to sit in a corner of our house. How pathetic a state that would be. So the tentacles or spread of social media is so alarming and so disturbing that everybody need to look into whether I have become a product. As probably resort, it is said that social media sell products to you through different ways. And if you think there is no direct selling of the product, then you are the product. Be it Google or be it anything, then you are the product. Similarly, what we are realizing it that are we being used by various vendors, by various sellers, by various vested interests? And if they are doing it, do we have a control? Before we take a stick and discipline the children, our children or school children or college going students, that you don't do this. Can we discipline ourselves? So the answer is not so easy to come by. We don't have that much control on WhatsApp, that much control on Facebook, because society as such emerged into a different form. Society want to see your face, see your visibility, see you online. And then what they do? They take us away from our near and dear ones. They have been friends of mine, real good friends of mine, whom I am not able to sit with them for months. And shifting from friends to closer friends whom I'm unable to talk for months, for weeks, because they are busy in various other things. And shifting from them to my key family members, how often I get time to talk to them one to one basis, undistracted, undisturbed, uncluttered, either by my phone or their phone. What essentially was called family life, what basically we got educated to have a decent family life, why we got higher educated to earn a living so that we would live together and happily live together and dine together and chat together. We have allowed social media to disrupt all that. So directly, indirectly, maybe I may sound to be enemy of social media, which I am not intending to be. I am just proposing that have we allowed those who were supposed to serve us to rule us? And if that is the scene which we need to review, which we need to admit, then somewhere we need to control it. I'm very eager to listen to my fellow panelists over here, but I'm just proposing, like all of us might have seen certain videos where at the dining table, everybody's phone is taken away and put in a basket. So I'm proposing to everyone over here, as well as everyone in the society, every viewer in any state or anywhere part of the world, any part. Let us experiment for 2 months, for 2 hours, we will not touch our phone. For 2 hours, we would connect to the family. Or the time when we have time to connect to the family, then we shall make sure that everyone switch off the phone or put it on mute. We shall pick it up after an hour, like we are doing it right now. So if we use judiciously, then we can take the benefit of social media. And this reflection needed to be done periodically. If we don't review this off and on, then we shall find हमारे हाथ में एक फ़ोन होगा, दो फ़ोन होगा, लैपटॉप होगा, मगर हमारे अपने हमारे साथ नहीं होंगे। वो लोग जो हमारे नियर डियर वंस है वो हमसे पराए हो जाएंगे। उनको देखे हुए, उनसे बात करे हुए ज़माना निकल जाएगा। उस बीच में शायद हम निकल जाएंगे, कोई और निकल जाएगा। तो सोशल मीडिया essentially was meant to bring us closer to near and dear ones, not to take us away from near and dear ones. This is my humble few summation in the beginning. I'm keen to hear others, and then the second part I may contribute more. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for giving your opening remarks and your submission. And according to Dr. Rajiv Anand, this social media has become masters of all the individuals who are using the social media. And he says that if he wants to come out of this, it is not possible, because it is like that you are unconnected with everybody, or you are living in the last century. And he says that because of this, he has to be on the social media, which is creating lots of problem, because every day he is receiving 1.25 to 1.5 GB videos, or the those forwards, which otherwise he may not require to see, but that is coming every day to him. And he says disturbing his normal life. He doesn't have enough time even to spend quality time with the family. And he says that why not we should take that some time away from the phones, take a decision that at least when we are eating dinner or lunch, we should not touch the phone, we keep the phone away. And he has given example that when the television came to India, at that time it was a entertaining thing, but now television become a must for everyone, at every place. Even the cable has become the day. So he says that the social media has impacted very badly. The personal life has been ruined, but there is no other way out what to be away from the social media. That is what Dr. Rajiv Anand feels, and he says that that the thing which has come to serve us has become our master. Thank you, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for giving your opening remarks. Now I would like to go to my second guest. My second guest is Dr. Rajiv Prakash. Dr. Rajiv Prakash is the president of Indian Academy of Pediatrics, Meerut. Dr. Prakash is the senior pediatrician practicing as consultant pediatrician for last 35 years. He is senior executive committee member of Indian Medical Association IMA Meerut. He is involved very actively with children and adolescents health issues. Welcome, Dr. Rajiv Prakash, on our show. Dr. Rajiv Prakash, please unmute yourself. You have heard what Dr. Rajiv Anand has mentioned, and according to Dr. Rajiv Anand, social media has become masters, which has come as a tool or as a to serve the people. Now it has become the masters, and no one can be away from the social media. Whatsoever things are coming on social media, whether you like it or not, it is coming. And if you want to dissociate yourself, it is very, very difficult, because otherwise you will be like an uncivilized person or unconnected person, unsocial person, and living like in a last century. Now, we would like to know from you the social media impact on society. Dr. Rajiv Prakash, please.
So, good morning to all, particularly Mr. Lal and my co-panelists, Dr. Rajiv Anand, Ms. Suroshi, and Ms. Rita. So, I would like to literally increase as the scope of this topic. That instead of social media, I would like to involve the whole media. And as I am connected to a child health for last 42 years, I joined the Department of Pediatrics in 1978. So I am dealing children and adolescents for last 42 years. So I would like to keep my talk particularly on the health of and the impact of social media on the health of children and adolescents. So one of the most notable changes in the 21st century in our social environment has been the saturation of culture in our daily lives by the mass media, like radio, TV, movies, video games, cell phones, computer networks, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, and all that. The media has demonstrated a potentially profound effect, both positive and negative, on children's cognitive, social, and behavioral development. Unfortunately, consequences of overexposure to electronic mass media have been more detrimental on the health of children's well-being and the health of children and adolescents. लाइक जैसे बचपन में भाई बच्चों को कहा जाता है भाई ठीक है अच्छी संगत रखो, अच्छी संगत अच्छे फ्रेंड्स बनाओ, बाहर गली में खेलने जाओ, वहाँ पर तुम अच्छे बच्चे नहीं मिलेंगे, आदतें बिगड़ जाएंगी तुम्हारी. But unfortunately now that bad boy, that bad Badnaam Gali, that has come into our own bedrooms through this electronic media. And the topography of media exposure has changed from 10 foot when there was the TV, it was 10 foot away from us. Then it came to 2 feet when we had computers. And now it is little 10 inches in the form of cell phones. So the effects of mass media have been found to be far-reaching and potentially harmful in influencing the health of children. We may divide this portion into two parts, the physical health and the mental health. So first I would like to deal with a little physical health, that how it is impacting the physical health of our children and adolescents. One of the most prominent things which have come out in the last 20 years is the problem of obesity in children. And it is directly related to the time consumed in the for the mass media and the proportion of obesity, because it is multifactorial. First, it decreases the mobility of the child. You can due to the computer or the mobile or the TV. Practically, you may say that the calories consumed in seeing the TV are less than if you are doing nothing. If you are doing nothing, then you will consume more calories rather than watching the TV or the using your cell phone. Secondly, the problem of wasting increases because of the intake of food, particularly junk food, increases during this viewing because your mind is glued to the TV or the cell phone, and you are not aware of that how much calories you are consuming. So this problem of obesity, it is affecting the physical health of children. We all know that how the obesity leads to various problems like cardiac problems in the later life, cardiac problems, diabetes, and arthritis, and all that. And in the immediate future, it affects the self-esteem of the child. because जब बच्चा मोटा होता है तो क्लास के अंदर से मोटा मोटा कह करके उसको टीज करते हैं, चढ़ाते हैं उसको. So that the child loses this self-esteem. So it is the one part of the physical problem. Second physical problem is now which is increasing nowadays is the musculoskeletal problems, because the posture of seeing the TV or the computer or the cell phone, that is not ideal posture. तो लेटे हुए बैठे हुए आड़े तिरछे होकर के सब उसको देखना है. So the musculoskeletal problems are increasing in children and adolescents. Third, the physical problem which is increasing is the problem of the eyes, because of this continuous exposure and in the seeing in the mobile, using the mobile in the night time, and when everybody is asleep in the house and then the lights are very dim or their lights are closed and you are seeing the cell phone in the dark, then definitely it impacts the vision of the eye power of the children. So these are the few physical problems which are developing in the children because of this overuse of media. So now next part which I would like to come, that is the mental health of the children, which is affecting the child, is the mental health of the children like anything. Because uh, the behavioral problems in children are increasing day by day. One of the most important factor for this behavioral problem is the contents of the uh, media, things like in cell phone or the movies and all that. The aggression, that is violence and aggression, shown in the these films, even the cartoon films, even the music albums, they are all having their contents are very, very aggressive, very violent. According to an estimate in America, which we are not far behind that adolescent before the age of 18 years has seen at least 2 lakh violent scenes on the media, and at 18,000 murders before the age of 2 years he has seen. So this impacts the behavior of the child. Definitely, it will impact what he will see. He will behave like that because the child's mind is not so mature that he can differentiate between a virtual and the reality. He considered as the normal. It is a normal life. That violence, that aggression, that all is a normal in his life, and he starts behaving like that. So that aggression that we are seeing in day-to-day life, in school children, when in school life, when we were children, then the one एक टीचर ने या एक हमारे पेरेंट्स ने, फादर ने को हमें डांट दिया तो हमारी हिम्मत नहीं थी कि हमको पलट कर जवाब दें. आज सीन बिल्कुल बदल गया है कि आज ये टीचर can't even rebuke his student. What to say of the physical violence, कोई स्टिक और उसका तो कोई सवाल ही नहीं है कोई. तो the cheese, that's the thing of the past now. तो वो जो एग्रेशन है, that is appearing everywhere. And the other problems like the fears, tensions, anxieties, and bad dreams, delinquencies of children, They are because of frequent regular exposure to the media. Another thing which is coming, that is the I would say the maturity of the children is now there. It is going to be quite early. The changes, the hormonal changes which we are in the children which used to come at the age of 15, 16, 17 years in our generation. Now they are coming at the 9, 10, 11, 12 years. They are become mature very, very early. The girls are attaining menarche at the age of 9, 10 years. The boys are developing secondary sexual characteristics at the age of 11 or 12 years, 10, 11, 12 years. And it is only because of this overexposure to the contents of the media. And the because in the form of smartphone, we have given a key to the child of such a vast field which he is not supposed to see the things now they are seeing. Because I'm coming into my daily practice, I'm seeing the children. The parents are coming. WhatsApp पर इसको हमने स्मार्टफोन इसके पास था, अपनी ऑनलाइन क्लास में था, ये 8 साल का 9 साल का बच्चा है, and he has seen some sort of porn films and like that, and now he's very much disturbed because he can't understand the things, but he has seen these things. So they're creating a lot of problems, a lot of anxiety and mental problems. Another thing which is developing because of this overexposure to media is that of I would say कि जैसे कि बच्चों ने देखा कि साहब करीना कपूर है, लड़की ने देखा, ये जीरो फिगर, और साहब हमें भी जीरो फिगर बनाएंगे, और उसके लिए उन्होंने द प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ एपेटाइट एंड दे आर कमिंग, दे लीव द फूड, उसकी वजह से उनको फिजिकल एंड मेंटल प्रॉब्लम्स डेवलप होती हैं. So another thing is the problem which is of drinking and smoking, that is coming very fast. And then the third problem which has been added is our drugs. Now we are seeing daily आज हम लोग देख रहे हैं कितना ड्रग्स का एक्सपेंशन सोसाइटी में हो चुका है. And it is a fact. It is not just a TV news कि भाई ड्रग्स का चल रहा है. And it is only because of this drinking, smoking, drugs, all there. And the last thing which I would say, that the sexual problems in children which we are seeing, that in majority of the cases now of the rapes and all these sexual problems, their teens are involved rather than the adults. आप रोज सुनते हैं कि वहाँ पे उसने 14 साल के लड़के ने रेप कर दिया, 15 साल के लड़के ने रेप कर दिया, 13 साल के लड़के ने रेप कर दिया, 5 साल की बच्ची का, 6 साल की बच्ची का. And all these delinquencies, all these problems, they are developing because of this overexposure to the media. Because जो स्मार्टफोन हमने बच्चों के हाथ में दे दिया है, तो उसमें हम लोग कोई निगाह नहीं रख पा रहे हैं कि वो क्या चीज़ उसके अंदर वो देखें और क्या चीज़ उसके अंदर ना देखें. And there is no end to it, no end to it कि कहाँ तक वो जा सकते हैं.
Okay.
That's
Yes. Thank
so,
you, Dr. Rajiv Prakash, for
you.
giving your views. And as per Dr. Rajiv Prakash, the social media is impacting both physically and socially on the especially the children, because he is a leading pediatrician, so he has given his views. And because he is seeing the patients of the up to the age of 18, he says that the changes have come physically as well as mentally or the socially on the child. And he has mentioned the first thing is the children have become more obese because the child is spending time more on the social media and watching movies or watching the other contents and eating the junk food, which is creating a very, very bad impact on his body, and he's becoming, or he or she is becoming obese. Secondly, because he or she is not sitting on a proper position, that deformity is taking place. And the thirdly is it is affecting the eyes very badly, because if there is a dim light or no light, and if the child is watching the on the mobile, it is affecting the power of the eyesight of the child. And he says on the mental health also, because childs are watching violent movies, murders, and it is impacting them very much because they don't know the difference between reality and the virtual, and they consider that this is a reality. So it is impacting very badly. Secondly, they are also watching sometimes the adult movies, adult contents, which is also impacting them very, very badly. And this, all these things, according to Dr. Rajiv Prakash, is going to impact more if we will not control them, because so much is happening. And even he has given example that the online classes are on, and if any things they see any video during that time which is having some adult contents, it is impacting the child, is and the parents are coming to the doctors and asking what to do. Now this is happening, so he says that we have to control, otherwise it will impact. He has given an example of Kareena Kapoor. He says that like when Kareena Kapoor has made her figure zero figure, the girls have started going for that without knowing that what is the healthy diet, and they are just taking, going for the zero figure, which is very, very unhealthy physically, mentally, and socially. So all these aspects, according to Dr. Rajiv Prakash, the social media is giving very, very bad impact on the, especially the children of the society. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Prakash, for giving your views, and is that too, especially on the children. Now I would like to go to my next guest, and she is Miss Urvashi Varman. Miss Urvashi is the principal of the Palace School, the City Palace, Jaipur. Miss Urvashi has been associated with the field of education for more than 2 decades. She has written a series of books on general awareness and EVS for primary school children. She has penned several articles for various newspapers. A prolific writer, her articles have been published in many journals and magazines. She has also written and produced many musical plays for school children. She was the sole representative from India for the Global Assembly of Educators Sans Frontiers in Dallas, USA in the year 2012. She won many awards for her outstanding contribution in the field of education. She, being the principal, she also got many awards for the institution. If I will read, it's a very, very long list, which I do not want to read now, but one can very well imagine or can think, visualize that she has achieved a lot even in last 2 decades. Welcome, Ms. Urvashi, on our show. And one thing I would like to inform you that she was not well till yesterday, and we were doubtful whether she will be joining us or not. But because of her, because of the strong willpower of her, she wanted to join the show, so she is now okay, and I'm sure that she will be able to talk with as she is a normal person. Welcome, Ms. Urvashi, to our show. You have heard what Dr. Rajiv Anand as well as what Dr. Rajiv Prakash has mentioned. And both are of this opinion that the social media is impacting very badly on society. Dr. Rajiv Anand was view that adults are being impacted very, very badly because of the social media. No time for the family, no time for the close friends, and so many contents are coming every day. And if we avoid the social media, we are termed as a unsocial person. According to Dr. Rajiv Prakash, it is impacting children very badly. And he has given all the examples which you have already heard. Now you are being a principal of a school, you are dealing with the children, students, and what Dr. Rajiv Prakash has also mentioned about the online classes, etc. So we would like to know from you the social media impact on society. Ms. Urvashi Varman, please. Please unmute yourself.
Namaskar, and very good morning to all of you who are here, all my co-panelists. And Mr. Goel, thank you so much for the introduction. I completely agree with what Dr. Rajiv Anand and Dr. Rajiv Prakash have stated, that indeed social media is a very important part of our life now. It is something that we cannot do away or wish it away. It's, I don't know, please forgive me saying, but it's a necessary evil. It's here and it's here to stay. And I would not like to say whether it's good or bad, because it all depends on the usage. Even nuclear energy is very good. It has a lot of medical uses. But if it is going to be used to make a nuclear bomb, then it's absolutely up to the person who's using it as to what use he wants to make of it. And so is the case with social media. It has its plus points, of course, but for sure, because it is not being used in a very responsible manner, hence the negative points are taking over. And being a principal of a school, this is an area of deep concern for me, because I find the kind of impact it is having on children. Dr. Rajiv Prakash has spoken very well about it. I will just expand on it a little bit more. That he's touched on two very crucial aspects. One is, of course, the mental and physical health aspect, and for the children. And he's spoken about body imaging also. So for sure, what we have noticed these days, that because of this fetish that now the children are having of taking selfies and putting up their photographs on the social media sites, on some very popular social media sites, I wouldn't like to name them, but they are so addicted to this fact that it's absolutely it's like, they've fallen in love with themselves, and they have to project their very best image in front of the whole world. So children today are actually thriving on the number of likes they are getting on their posts, and specifically if it is their photographs. So they hang on to the social media site to see how many likes have gone up and how many people have liked me. And if that day the likes are not that much, that child goes into a very deep depression, gets absolutely upset, gets anxiety attacks. How come I don't have so many likes? Am I not looking good? Am I looking bad? Is somebody else looking better than me? So this constant struggle is there in these children's mind about this fact, and with the result that we know that those who can afford it, those parents who can afford it, they are being hounded by their children to go in for cosmetic surgeries. So the incidence of a nose job being done, or a face job being done, or whatever job needs to be done, it's being done only for this cosmetic reason, that the kid needs to look good on the social media platform. And it's an alarming thing, because it is very detrimental for a child's mental health. So that is one thing which is very sad. The second thing is that when we talk in terms of uh, the latest trend that has come up in some metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, and it's a very, very worrying and a very distressing trend that I just came to know recently about, is that there is a kind of a bullying is also happening, where social media is concerned with young children. How? Suppose I am a student and I have taken admission in a new school in a metropolitan city. And as I enter the classroom, of course, I need to make friends. And when I enter the classroom, I will gravitate to one of the rows of seats which are outlined there for the students. And suddenly, I'm not allowed to sit over there. And the reason that I'm giving is, do you have more than 1,000 followers on your social media profile? I'm again not naming the social media platform here. Do you have 1,000+ followers? Do you have, say, about 15,000 likes to your photographs ever? So if you have it, you qualify to be a part of our group. I got the shock of my life when I got to know about this, that this is what is happening. Children are ganging up and they are making their groups according to the number of followers you have on your Instagram profiles, according to the number of likes that you get on Instagram profiles. Now, I being maybe a child, a girl from a small town, I get very distressed. I get very upset. What do I do? I need I have this inherent need to be accepted by my peer group. So, what I do, I go and make a fake media profile, and maybe post pictures which are inappropriate, with inappropriate clothing, because, of course, that is going to garner a lot of likes, and that is going to garner a lot of followers. So, after doing that, for sure, the number of likes go up, the number of followers go up, but I have still not qualified to be part of that elite group. So what do I do? So then a friend of mine tells me that, if you want to be part of this group, you really need to have followers, and it's very easy to get followers and it's very easy to get likes. You just need to buy them. Okay. Now that's a new concept. Personally, for me, it was a very new concept. I didn't know that you could buy followers and you could buy likes, but you can. There are a lot of, I guess, there are a lot of internet companies which are operating where you can buy their likes and followers, and you can buy, a few likes for a few rupees. So, where do I get the money from? See how it gets connected. Where do I get the money from? I go and ask my parents that I need some money. So, if as a parent you're approached by a child that I need some money, you will definitely ask, why do you need the money? And I'm going to say, okay, it's my friend's birthday and I need to buy a gift, so I need the money. All right, how much money? 500,000 bucks, whatever is you give to your child, you end up giving it. And what do I do with that money? I go and purchase the followers, I go and purchase some likes. Now I'm trapped because this has to be done every month. This is okay only for 1 month. Now, how do I sustain? How many times will I tell my parents that it's my friend's birthday? The parent is going to say, Kitne friends hai? How many friends do you have? And every month there is some birthday happening. What's wrong? So now I'm caught because I have already showed to my group that I have got an X number of likes and I have got an X number of followers. And now I cannot backtrack because next month, if I don't pay up, then my followers will go down, my likes will go down, and I'll be exposed and I'll be thrown out and I will be ridiculed and I'll be made fun of and I will never be accepted back. So again, my deep desire to be accepted by my peer group, I will definitely go and do something which is inappropriate. And it is shocking to know what children are doing nowadays. They are becoming part of certain portals, certain, again, social media platforms wherein you can pose and you can put up photographs which are very compromising. You have a fan following over there, and then they will demand certain kind of photographs to be put in, and they will pay you for it. They will pay you that we need you to see your picture in such and such way, and if you can do it, then of course you get the money. So children nowadays find new ways of fueling this desire to be accepted by the peer group by getting into activities which are absolutely not correct and which actually can come under the purview of crime. I'm not actually stating what exactly the children become, but they have known to get into flesh trade because they have this need to be accepted and to look good on social media and to be very popular. It's a very, very serious thing that is happening. See what is happening on TikTok. You will find young girls recently. You must have heard about this TikTok star who was just a 16-year-old girl, and she committed suicide sometime after the lockdown started. And it got me thinking, why? Why should a 16-year-old girl who's very popular on this social media platform, who's got lakhs and lakhs of followers and likes, why should she commit suicide? She had everything going for her in life. And that's when we were a group of people, when we sat together and we kind of discussed the whole thing, and we realized that obviously she's 16, she looked good and she had a lot of followers. Probably her need to look more popular, one buys followers, one buys the likes, and you are fueling those buys and those likes by doing whatever nonsensical activity you can to earn money. Now here comes the lockdown. Everybody is locked inside their homes. You cannot move out. You cannot do anything. There's no way you can earn money. Your likes and your followers go down, and you get so depressed, you get so upset that you commit suicide. And that is where this is all leading to for youngsters. And it's very, 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 very scary. What is happening to our children? It's very, very frightening. Gaming disorders. Everybody knows that children are now getting addicted to online gaming. And as Dr. Rajiv Prakash said, they are getting exposed to so much of violence they are watching that for them it is normal. it becomes the norm and they are hooked onto it. So I would say parents need to be very careful to see what kind of game their child is playing online, how much is their child engaging himself or herself on the social media platform, what kind of people they are friendly with, and how many likes and followers are they having. They need to question how has this happened, and they need to talk to their children about the pitfalls of getting caught in such situations. And schools and parents have to be vigilant about this because it has assumed an alarming proportion, and it's very frightening what is happening to our children. Very, very frightening. So, this is what I feel as an educationist. I think it's a terrible place where we are right now, and only a check and awareness talks about given to these children can help them escape this kind of a miserable situation that they get themselves in. They're no longer able to come out of it.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Urvashi, for giving your details how the children are being impacted by the social media. And she said it's a very, very scary situation. She has explained in detail. I would not like to go to detail, but it is a very, very scary position. We all have to think how we can save our children from the impact of the social media. And she has given the complete details how the children are behaving, how they have been bullying, how they are falling in trap, and what they are doing. So these all things are, if it is happening in the society today, so it shows that the social media is playing a very, very dirty role, or very a role which is going to create a society in the future, a very, very disturbed society, perverted society, and which will be going to be a very bad thing for our country, or the nation, or the world. Thank you very much, Ms. Urvashi. I would not like to give the details because I do not want to repeat those words, although you have given so much details. So I am sure that the viewers understood, and they must take action to safeguard their own children. And that is the idea of our media conference, that we want to bring to you all the expert opinions, those experienced experts, those who are in position, they can tell what is happening today, so that you can be alarmed, you can be aware, and you can take proper action so that the children can be saved from this menace of social media. Thank you very much, Ms. Urvashi, for giving the details. Now I would like to invite my next guest, and she is Ms. Rita Banerjee. Ms. Banerjee is the Deputy General Manager of State Innovations in Family Planning Service Project Agency, SIFPSA. It's a UP government society. Her responsibility is to develop and implement projects related to reproductive, maternal, newborn, child, and adolescents. Her focus is to reduce IMR, MMR, and population growth. Welcome, Ms. Rita Banerjee, on our show. Ms. Rita, please unmute yourself. You have already heard what Dr. Rajiv Anand, what Dr. Rajiv Prakash, and what Ms. Urvashi has mentioned. Although Dr. Rajiv Anand has mentioned about the impact on the adults and children, but mainly on the adults and the family and the society on whole. And he said very clearly that the impact is very bad, because now there is no family values. People are spending more time on the social websites, or on the social media, than their own family. And it's very, very difficult time. If you want to even awake yourself, you can't. Dr. Rajiv Prakash has mentioned about the impact on the children, because he is dealing with the children, being a pediatrician. And he says that whatsoever is impacting, it's physical as well as mental, and the social impact on the child. And Ms. Urvashi has given the details how the students are behaving, the impact of the social media on the students, that is how they have been bullied and what they are doing, which is very, very bad trend, and it has to be curbed. Now, we would like to know, because you are also dealing with the a child, the newly born, okay, the child and adolescent. So you know, you also are dealing with that category of the society. So we would like to know the social media impact on society. Miss Rita Banerjee, please. Please unmute yourself, Miss Rita. Please unmute. Miss Rita, you have to unmute yourself. Okay, Miss Rita is coming to once she will unmute. I would like to inform my viewers, the Facebook, the Google, and all those who are the former employees of those who were at the time when they started, now they are regretting. And there was a statement issued by them. They says, we never thought that we are creating an evil for the society. And they says, it is worse than the drug addiction. That is not my words. These are the words of those social medias, prime social medias, employees who were working at the time they were created. So this was just to inform you. Now I would like to invite Ms. Rita Banerjee, please.
Hello, thank you, sir. And I absolutely agree with all my colleagues. With it, I would definitely like to add certain things that no doubt social media has created some of the negative impact, and one has to be very vigilant in just making children, adolescents, and youths, even the elders, use it very positively because such a huge info is available on the media. And sometimes what happens that we just while scrolling down things and while searching or moving our boredom, we just go and enter into such sites. The sites are not very positive for us, not very good for us. But still, समय चलता जाता है and we keep on liking it, and we went just certain such levels where we get such information which is not too good for the children and all. As Mr. Goel has said, definitely I work with the youths and adolescents in UP, but definitely I would like to point out things that as Madam Urvashi has also said, that is it is the prime duty of the parents as well as teachers to see what the students are observing. Recently, I would like to share one of the example that I work with the youths of certain colleges of UP, and we are working through NSS groups. So I'll again add it to COVID only, that during COVID, such a massive positive use of social media I have seen by the students who were trained through under a particular program on on health issues. They have created such good posters that they have been just giving good yoga exercises on multimedias and sharing it with me and with the students. So it is very important for the teachers how to just make people realize that how positively we can use this media. And definitely, the addiction of it is nowadays, it is more to the extent that we will see that it is more than alcohol and cigarette even, because alcohol and cigarette has got certain restrictions because they are available at certain point. There are places where we can just consume it, but information on social media are wide. It open 24 into 7 hours. We can just use it when we want and where we want. So it is very important. And definitely, one just find I will definitely ask the IT section to have the restrictions of the information for the restricted group also. Because the group is like such, it is open. Now a class 7 boy is observing something of class 12 information, which is too immature for that particular boy or a girl. So it is very necessary for us to just see. And one of more positive point I would definitely like to share is okay, when we nowadays, if you see during the lockdown and all, schools and colleges, they have played a very important role, social media. We have seen people and the students just taking their classes through it and getting into the information. Like one of the positive point is earlier we used to have interactive books like The information was collected through books, selective informations by selective authors. But if we want certain information, there is wide range of information available. No doubt we have to see what is important and what is genuine, because all information available cannot be correct at equal time. We have to see whether it is right or it is wrong. So quoting of that is very important. Taking the youth also, the using of it, if I don't know, I have personally also seen with people that the more social media is being used by the youth, the lesser they become interactive with parents or with the relatives or anybody. They will love to spend much of their time into social media, as Madam Urvashi has said, like viewing their likes, dislikes. So it is very important to see that how what should be given and what could be used. No doubt, the positive as well as the negative, both the aspect could be done it definitely.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Yes,
thank you very much, Miss
yes, yes.
Rita, for giving your views. And she says, yes, one has to be very, very careful while the children are using the social media. They should be vigilant. But she says there are lots of positive things also of social media. She says that during the COVID time, the children have come out with so many good messages. They have created the posters and whatnot, and it's a very positive sign. And she says that online education and all these things are possible because of the social media. So she says that we should not think or see only the negative side, we should also see the positive sides. Although there are many points where the social media is harming us. When we are just scrolling, we land up on in some types of sites which are not good, and that creates a problem for the children's as well as for adults. So according to her, social media is having both the things, negative and positive side, how we see, but we have to be very, very careful, vigilant, especially in the case of the children, which are small, or there's those who are not understanding what is to be done. Thank you very much, Ms. Rita, for giving your views. Now I would like to ask Dr. Anand. Dr. Rajiv Anand, there was recently there is a case. Um, I am informing you because it's a case of Dr. Anup Krishna. Dr. Anup Krishna was an orthopedic surgeon. He appeared on my media show, my media conference on 17th of July. The topic was COVID-19 impact on nursing homes. He was quite a young, promising doctor. He performed a surgery of a 5 or 6 years old child. The child could not survive. And the social media became so against him, and they have started writing left, right, everything against him. He was practicing in Kollam. He could not bear that type of impact of the social media. He committed suicide. Very, very sad. Now, this is one aspect of the social media. The other aspect which we are seeing is that in social media, anything comes in the news without thinking. People are trolling, writing so many bad words, so many bad things. Do you think these types of things are impacting the mental health of a person? And do you think a healthy mind or an educated person can troll like this, which is happening today? Anything happens in the country, the social media becomes so active. If you give a statement which you feel that it is a good statement, it should be, but then even the social media, the trollers, are those trollers are perverted, or are they uneducated, or they are mentally sick? And what is the remedy, Dr. Rajiv Anand, for stopping this type of social media, which is harming the reputations of many, many people? I would not like to name you all. Everybody knows today everything is coming the media. Nobody leaves anything if anybody says anything. What you say about this, Dr. Rajiv Anand?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Lal, for a very, very pertinent question, which is very timely, topical, and of great relevance to everyone today. You mentioned about the word healthy You mentioned educated. I'm also adding a word called intellectuals because many of us do think that we are one, intellectuals. But in reality, we all are behaving less educated, less intelligent. We are behaving like gullible, vulnerable, rustic people who hear something and who pass on to others without discriminating. We are ready to judge anyone. We are ready to comment on anyone. We are ready to spread it like a wildfire to thousands of people. What is probably heard the word called viral in right now it's about 11:35. If one viral message about me goes wrong that I have done some nasty activity, by evening my reputation earned over last 4.5 decades gone zero. That this would be spread to thousands or probably lakhs of people that this doctor caught having done something. Nobody would stop to not get carried away by what is being read. Every one of us believe what we are reading on the social media, and that's where the pitfall is. We throw away our intelligence, we throw away our intellect, we throw away our education status. We take the social media posts as the final word, and this is being exploited. That's where I have said in my first part that we are the product. Today, anyone can threat me or any one of us over here that in a day our entire reputation can be brought to dust. Howsoever we may try to retrieve it later on, howsoever we may try to have a legal recourse later on, but once it is done, partially it is done. How many people you are going to justify? So we have to be cautious individually. It begins with me first. Every one of us have to raise the finger at one own self. Am I dealing with with social media responsibly? One more point I would like to say before I quit, that whatever we talk about in front of the family and the children, why we should quote the social media, why we should quote I've read there, I found there, because that's how we are reinforcing, we are validating the relevance of social media. Why we shouldn't have much more to talk about, totally disconnected from the sources of the social media. We are intelligent people, we are educated people, we have our own understanding. We should talk about more from within us rather than the inputs, half-baked inputs, unproven, unverified inputs from the social media. Over to you, Mr. Lal.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand. Now, my next question is to Dr. Rajiv Prakash. Dr. Rajiv Prakash, you have given details how the children who are coming to you on your clinic or the hospital for showing because of the physical as well as mental disorders due to the impact of social media. And it's fact now, everybody, even Ms. Urvashi and Ms. Rita also have vouched for this same thing. Now, what is the remedy? After all, you being a doctor, you are giving medicines, you are curing the disease. But what is the cure of this social media disease, Dr. Rajiv Prakash?
The remedy lies in our own hands. Because first the parents have to set the example of their own. That we have seen that the parents, even you are themselves, you are yourself involved so much in your phone, yet you are having no time for the family, no time for the children, and no time to appreciate them or to teach them. You are father guy office से आया शाम को and he is busy with the Facebook and WhatsApp and all that. So first you have to set the example. Number one. Number two, the thing of that अब एक नया फेनोमेना डेवलप हो गया है कि हर बच्चे के घर में बच्चे कमरे में एक अलग टीवी सेट लगा हुआ है, उसका अलग लैपटॉप है, उसका अलग फोन है. That the bedroom should not be made a media center. That the TV, particularly the TV showing, there should be collective family time. There should be a family affair. Because when the child is closed in his room with the whole media, you can't control the contents of that media what he or she is seeing. So, number one, number two, number three is the you have to limit the media time. That you have to restrict the child that the media time should not be more than maximum the 2 hours in 24 hours. You have to restrict that. You have to be little strict on that matter. That is not like that कि the बच्चा आपको बार बार एक बजे तक जो है वो मोबाइल पे टाइम वेस्ट कर रहा है, सब देख रहा है वो. सुबह उसकी बाद स्लीप उसकी डिस्टर्ब होती है. जब उसकी स्लीप डिस्टर्ब होती है, मॉर्निंग टाइम में उसको उठना होता है स्कूल जाने के लिए, उसकी इसी परफॉर्मेंस पे फर्क आता है. बिकॉज हम अगर ये सोचते हैं कि साहब हम बच्चे को ज़्यादा मीडिया, ज़्यादा नॉलेज मिल जाएगी उससे, सोशल मीडिया से, मोबाइल से, दैट वी आर रॉन्ग. बिकॉज वो इंफॉर्मेशन एक्सप्लोजन तो वहाँ पर है, लेकिन वो नॉलेज नहीं है. दैट इज नॉट द नॉलेज. Because we have to tell the child that the difference between virtual world and the reality. That we. Another thing which is there at meal time, that should be separate. जो बच्चा टीवी के सामने बैठा हुआ खाना खा रहा है, that is very very wrong. So there are few restrictions which we have to place in the family. And first we have to set the example of our own.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rajiv Prakash, for giving the reply. And you are very clear that one has to set the example themselves first, then they can control the child. Now, my question to Ms. Urvashi is, Ms. Urvashi, everybody is talking about that we should limitize the use of social media. You are a principal of a school, prestigious school, and right now the norm of the day is that online education. And online education is starting from a child of 2 years to whatsoever the age. And there, I have seen that children have to spend 5, 6, 8 hours in front of the in the laptop or the mobile. Now, one side we are saying that it is harming, other side online education is putting pressure or telling us that no, the child has to be social media friendly because he or she has to learn from the online education. Even we had lots of media conference where all the educationists says that now the time has come that we must have a 33% of the at least the online education, 33% in-person education, and 33% practical education. Now it means the 33% is also too much. Means at least 2 to 3 days the student has to spend 6 to 8 hours in front of the laptop or the mobile phone. And the practical experience which has come out is small children's up to age of 7, 8, or 9. When they are taking the online education, the parents are sitting with them, either the mother or the father or somebody is sitting and seeing what is happening and how the teacher is teaching what not. But what about the elder children? Now, a child of 16, 17, 18 years would not like or no parent would like to sit because neither the parent will have time, or if they have time, they will not understand what is going on. And the practicality has come. I was told by the many of the educational institution owners and the teachers, they says that senior students, they just switch over to the social media. Online education is going, the parent knows that my son or daughter is busy in the online education, but instead of online education, they are chatting and they are forwarding the messages and viewing whatsoever, whether good or bad contents. What you say about this, Ms. Urvashi?
Absolutely right, sir. What you have said is completely true. And as I said earlier, also, the two things, it's a necessary evil, social media. And two, I also spoke about the responsible usage of social media because it is a very powerful tool, also. And especially right now, the internet is the most powerful tool for imparting education when during COVID time, during lockdown time. So it is very, very important. And it is actually our individual onus as to what we do with the tool that has been given to us. So I can use the tool to make, I can use the tool to break. And being a child, I would not know what to do. So it is the absolute responsibility, again, I reiterate, of the adult in the family right now. And of course, teachers also who are conducting classes online from time to time to keep telling the children about the proper and safe usage of media so that they can get maximum benefit out of it. There is no two ways about it that we have to talk to the children about the safe and proper usage of media, whether it is the kind of sites they should or should not access, whether it is the kind of time they should be spending on the social media. Dr. Rajiv Prakash said something very good. We have to limit the time, and the onus lies on the adult of the family. If the adult of the family is laying down the rules that you cannot see your social media account for more than 1 hour a day, then as an adult, even the adult has to follow it. It's not that I have said it, you will do it because I'm the father, I'm the mother, and you have to listen to me. This does not work anymore. It used to work with us, our generation. It does not work with the new generation. They will follow what you do. So adults, number one, have to become good role models for children, which I'm sad to say most of the adults are not. They need to be good role models with the children. And number two, they also need to keep talking to their children and checking with them. There has to be a transparency in the parent-child relationship. The parent has to lay the ground rules that I can check your phone anytime and I'll do it in your presence. I can check your social media accounts anytime and I will do it in your presence. The day you become independent, you start earning your own money, you're standing on your 2 feet, and you are mature and adult, I will stop doing it because then you're on your own. But till such time, you are under my care. So it has to be transparent. So there has to be a trust building factor between the adults and children. That's very, very important. It's only when the adult is able to show trust to the child and the child understands the importance of maintaining that trust, only then can we say that these problems can be surmounted. Otherwise, these problems will get the better of us.
Okay, Miss
I would
Urvashi.
also like to add, sir, one thing. I don't know whether you're aware of it, but the government of China, it's interesting to know that it has passed a shutdown law in 2011, and it prevents the teens from logging on to the internet from midnight to 6 a.m. So if things get very bad, we can think in these terms. And also in Taiwan, parents are fined 50,000 Taiwanese dollars if the children are found to be using internet more than the stipulated time. So if things don't improve, probably the government has to step in and put in some kind of a legislation. It sounds bad, but it would be required.
Okay, Ms. Urvashi, thank you. But my 2 points, I want a quick response, very quick response from you. One point, the other day, there is a media report that online class was going on, and some boy or girl, I don't know, somebody has played some adult movie during that. And the teacher was not trained to stop that. And every children, they were watching, even the teacher was watching, and she was helpless. Do you think now the system is required that all the teachers should know how to block this? Because the online teaching is there, you cannot say no, we cannot do online teaching when 5 6 hours online teaching. If somebody will do, that is one. Number two, that is a very, very important thing, that if they are doing it. Secondly, are you appointing in your school a counselor who is going to counsel what you have said? Because after all, in India, 60 70% of the population lies in the villages. The parents are not trained, but the children have to use the mobile phone and the laptop. Are you going to have on all the schools the counselor who will counsel and say to the children that, see, don't, or the child, please don't use this thing, this is harmful for you? Two very, very quick response, because I have to go to Miss Rita.
So I think the movie part that you're talking of happened a couple of months ago. And for sure, the teachers were not very well trained at that time. Even they were trying to get the hang of all the media. But now, I think by now, all teachers are well trained. And even by now, all the schools have gravitated to a very secure portals. So you will not hear these happening now at all. The teacher knows how to take care of it. She knows how to throw such a child out of the class, and she knows how to block the child.
Miss Urvashi, it happened 2 days back only. Earlier, it happened in Singapore. Singapore banned the online education, but in India, it happened 2 days back only. That's why I'm bringing to
That's
your
very
notice,
sad.
because there are many schools in the villages, small cities. They are also doing the online education. Anyways, so that is one. Correct. Now, second point about the counselor?
Of course, the counselor, it's mandatory now for all at least CBSE schools to hire counselors in their in their schools. And our counselor is also there, and she's constantly on call with the children. They know that they can call her at any time of the night or day, and she counsels them. And apart from that, even the IT department, they keep conducting programs with the children and for the parents. We take special counseling sessions,
Okay.
equipping and empowering the parents to let them know what they need to check and where they
Okay.
need to see.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, my question to you is, Miss Rita, see, you are dealing with even the pregnant women and newly born, and do you think this impact is on the pregnant women also? After all, we used to hear earlier that a pregnant woman should be given a very good atmosphere, very good talks, very positive talks. But with such violent things and all those things, is that impacting? And what, according to you, in one line, what is the remedy for that? Miss Rita, please.
So definitely, the bad films and all will definitely create impact on the child in the womb of the mother. But the positive part is many good movies have been prepared by people, and we all are just the health sector is throwing it through social media to the women as a positive part, and they are just watching those movies. Many good examples are there. Many good informations have been shared. So definitely a negative impact is there, but one should just look the positive impact even.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I have limited time left, only in 30 seconds. Dr. Rajivanand, any suggestion either to the government or advice to public, anything you want to give, one, what you'd like to give? Uh,
Uh, Already have been spoken a lot. Let mobile be an asset to us. Let it be a friend to us. Let it not be our master or ruler. Let us
Master,
live a
yes.
healthy, happy family life with everyone.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Dr. Rajivanand. Dr. Rajiv Prakash, one advice or suggestion?
But I would like to advise that definitely it's a double-edged weapon. So the parents have to be aware of it, and they should keep a control over the children, that for what time they have to see and what thing they have to see. They have to
Okay,
be vigilant.
okay. Thank you. And Miss Urvashi, please.
Again, I would also say the same. Parents need to have parental control softwares installed in their devices. Very important. And they should also make sure that all downloads and installations are being only done by the adult of the family and not the child.
Okay, thank you, Miss Urvashi. Miss Rita.
So I will definitely say parents and teachers are there to guide them. But if the government will limit the hours of exposure of the social media, it will be definitely good for the students, especially our youths.
Okay, thank you very much. So today you have seen the social media impact on society, the views expressed by the experts, and they all are of same view that the social media has done more harm than it has given some done good. And they says that the control is required, and especially for the children, because after all, the children are the future of the nation. And if we have to ruin any country, and we can ruin by way of poisoning the children's mind, and which is happening with this social media. So all our expert views are, please take care of your child, and children's, please be aware. After all, you are the future of the nation. You have to be a responsible person. Use social media as a very positive thing. I can also give my example. I am also using the positive this media as a positive thing. Please use it, but use very positively. After all, you can learn many things positively also by this. And today's program, which has been telecasted live by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And tomorrow, again, we are going to have a new media conference with Lal Goel, and our tomorrow's topic is COVID-19 impact on domestic workers. And our panelists are Miss Vaishalini Jindal, President Inner Wheels Club, Aligarh City; Miss Madhuri Sharma, Professional Trainer, Academic Consultant, Mumbai; Miss Neeraj Mathuria, Headmistress, Primary School, Bad, Mathura; Dr. Priyadarshini, Mrs. World Supermodel 2019, Chairperson, Harsha Modern Diagnostics, Mangalore. Please tune in tomorrow for media conference live at 10:30 a.m. And thank you very much, Dr. Rajiv Anand, Dr. Rajiv Prakash, Ms. Urvashi, and Ms. Rita for joining us. And thank you all the viewers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Goel.
sir. Thank you.